Hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 2. We're back in Salisbury, and apparently I'm the idiot in the last video who used the word 41th instead of 41st. Good stuff. Anyways, we're checking in here on the schedule as not much has changed since the last video we had a couple of weeks ago. That was this 3-1 victory over Bayern Munich. Well, the second half of it anyways. We proceeded to unfortunately get knocked out of the FA Cup against Man City in the next game. We scored 2 goals. Unfortunately, they didn't even play Erling Haaland, but Flavio Quinteros is a very good second striker for them, and he punished us hard. Wasn't fun. We proceeded to go up 5-0 in the FA Youth Cup semi-final against Arsenal. And while we lost 1-2 on the road leg, that meant we are through to the FA Youth Cup finals against Chelsea. We frustratingly drew against Crystal Palace here on the road, 0-0. Then we took AC Milan behind the woodshed here, 6-1 at home, which then sets up our second leg here with our 5-goal differential. Sergei Dudarev went off with 3 goals in the appearance, goals by Kevin Moss, Edgar Garcia, and Juan Matea as well. We are coming off of a 2-1 win over Southampton with a heavily rotated side. They scored very frustratingly in the first minute. We came back in the 15th to tie it up, and then Edgar Garcia got a penalty. Well, it was Marcelino Marin who drew the penalty. Edgar Garcia finished off the penalty shot to give us the 2-1 lead and final score. So we have a trip to Milan coming up, a massive lead that hopefully renders this video not very exciting. If we jump over here, we can see out of those 3 cups, in the finals of the Youth Challenge Cup, which very happy for the 2 Tobys and the rest of the guys. We did have a new youth intake. I have not installed faces yet. I did sign a bunch of players. The overall assessment was probably off in terms of talent. They thought Henry Walker, when we again, apologies for the terrible faces. When we signed Henry Walker, he was listed as like 1-star ability, 3-star potential, but apparently he's on the Toby 2's track, allegedly in terms of potential. His physicals there are disappointing, only 9 pace. But I'm pretty sure Toby was pretty much there as well, and since the last 2 years he's gotten up to 11. So hopefully Henry will be able to replicate the same thing. A bunch of okay guys. I don't know if we have anyone like Toby Lansdowne who has this ridiculous pace, but at least at 16, Toby will be back for another year of destroying the FA Youth Cup. Again, if the save is back for another year. We trail by 5 in the 5 points in the Premier League behind Man City. They have already clinched the Europa League play. We are probably not that far behind, though. Actually, I guess it's a kind of a build up there. So, but yeah, we're on 33. So are they. The teams right behind us are all on 34. So, feeling all right about it. I'm gonna even look at the schedule because that's how much. I'm not worried about Milan. Bournemouth, who are in 15th at home, that should be 3 points. Liverpool away, 10th. We'll say you get a point out of that. Fulham at home, they're 6th. Could be dangerous, but I'm going to back us for 3 points in any home game, even against United in 3rd. And then a road trip to Newcastle in 9th. Again, 1 point. Really, we shouldn't be losing any of these. And hopefully in that 5, we are good for 11 points. We need City to collapse a little bit, but hey, maybe they will. Let's take a look at their last schedule a little bit. They are apparently out of the Champions League, having lost to Real Madrid. They do have an FA Cup game left. Home game against Burnley, 18th place Burnley, 6th place Fulham, both at home. Road trip to 7th place Leicester. Home game against 10th place Liverpool. Road trip to 19th place Brighton, and Hove Albion. I know that. Yeah, their schedule's definitely easier than ours, but hopefully they get FM'd. So, we're just going to play with the usual positive mentality. We're not Gonna try and reinvent the wheel or anything. Dudarev, Garcia, Moss up top, Owner, Ozan in the middle, Zabibi slightly behind, Matea, Torres, Capoon, Petkov in the back, Johansson in the net. It is not a very interesting thing we do. We did get Balatsaurus back from injury about 2 games ago. He saw a tiny bit of time, and then we started him last game. He scored the tying goal in somewhere around the 20th minute, and unfortunately then went out with an injury for probably 3 to 4 weeks, a sprained ankle in the 30th minute. So it is a good thing that we have brought Fabio Lentini back to the squad to cover during regular season games. So let's get this started here against Milan. They started off bringing it down the right side. This is exactly how we gave up our goal to Southampton in the opening minute. They got it out to their right winger who drove the end line, crossed it, and found guy in the center. So this is slightly different that we're going in from a corner. Hopefully. So yeah, apparently we start terrible now. It's not something we love to see. Just getting beat on crosses and corners into the middle of the box. You know, I love our center backs, but my last save with Salisbury, I had some of the best center backs in the world. They were my pride and joy. And so having such incomplete and just okay center backs frustrates me to no end. Like, I legitimately had, at one point, I had the best center back in the world, and unfortunately he got, when I was still coming up in the Premier League. I think Dudarev's offsides, but he wants the goal. I want the goal. I just don't think it'll stand. Prove me wrong, VAR. Reverse ginseng worked! Let's see this. Oh, yeah, number 19 did a terrible job. Dudarev was way offsides for the players near him, but 19 kept him onside. Just terrible stuff from him, which I appreciate. So yeah, my previous save, we managed to have the best... come on, Dudarev, finish that. The best center back in the world, and he got bought, I believe, by Liverpool for about $120 million on a release clause from us. But it was okay, because then we proceeded to buy 2 German center backs over the next 4 years, who developed into maybe not as good as the guy from Liverpool, or who ended up going to Liverpool, but was very comparable. And so between the 3 of them, we're probably 3 of the 4 best center backs in the world at the end of the save. Capoon and Torres are not that. Petkov might be the best center back and plays right back more often because he's more complete player. Capoon has the technicals now to not be a terrible center back, and his physicals are amazing, but his technicals are just okay. Doesn't have amazing size. Torres, Torres posts really good ratings, but it's hard to parse out because he does play mixed positions. He plays some defensive midfielder and he plays some center back. If one of those is keeping the other afloat, but he is legitimately like top 6 in the team in average rating. So he's regardless of how his attributes line up, his performances, at least measured on average rating, are very solid. Though here he's already sitting on a yellow card, though I say already, and we're in the 38th minute. We play the winner of Wolfsburg and Chelsea. I would obviously prefer that to be Wolfsburg. Unfortunately, I believe Wolfsburg lost the first leg of their quarterfinal. I do not know by how much. and I couldn't tell from the pop-up if they're actually playing right now and it's still just 0-0, or if it is that game is going to happen after ours. Pekov will play it up to Moss. Moss will drive. Ugh, I don't even understand that decision at all for Moss. Apparently thought he had a step, but just kicked it straight into the defender. Moss with a header into Ozan. Ozan on the run up. Plays it forward to Dudarev. Dudarev does get on it. Unfortunately, defender does a good job taking away his angle. Dudarev chips the ball into him, allowing us to take the corner. Moss will bring the outswinger. The ball is headed away, and Moss maybe could have gotten there, but instead we'll let it roll out for the throw-in. Having a kick about in the center midfield. Duder will play it forward to Garcia. Garcia does get on it, turns hard, and is dispossessed by Rossetti, who bombs it forward. It's like Capoon does get to it and play it up to Matea, into Zabibi, up to Onur, back to Zabibi, plays it forward to Garcia, loses the header, and they have the ball. See, it wins the header that time. Unfortunately, they intercept. What are they doing? Playing a 4-3-3. Rosati's got some pace. Garcia was tracking back with him the whole time, couldn't catch up to him. So yeah, Garcia's on a bit of a tiredness. Is going to be more tired than you'd like, because he had to sub in for Ballesteros in the 30th minute last game. Lousy pass from Capoon, clearing the ball. Luckily, the Capoon at least made it up by getting in the way to block the opposition shot and goes out for the corner. Looks like an outbreaker here from Brahim. Goes long. No. I'm not quite sure who will bring in if we pull Garcia. If we stay with this formation, theoretically we want a right-footed player. And in terms of bench players, Marcelino Marin is left-footed, so he's not a very good inside forward on the left. Lentini is, but he doesn't have any experience playing as an inside forward on the left. He's more of a, allegedly anyways, a right winger as his backup position, but I mean, based on his attributes, I don't especially see it. He should be better as a left inside forward, so maybe we'll accept Lentini isn't available in this game, since he was on a loan at Nice when we registered. So we'll probably look to move either Onur or Ozan out to that spot, whichever one is the one who plays on the left wing, because one is capable or has experience on the left wing and the other has experience on the right wing. Wants me to play Toby 2s there. No, we will swap. Looks like Ozan out to Garcia's spot. And sure, we'll play Toby 2s. We're up by 5 goals with 20 minutes left. How bad can things go? We will play Toby 2s. Get him in non-Champions League play. But he will play in a much more natural position for him to give him a chance to actually not get overwhelmed. We'll make another sub here very shortly after that one's been made. Capoon is gassing out. That's fine. We'll definitely play Torres. And both Zabibi and Matea at left back. That's fine. I suppose we can put in Maric at defensive midfield. Leave Matea in. Alright, so those are our substitutes. We need to not give up 5 goals in the last 18 minutes, and any stoppage time the officials feel needs to be added to our game. They bomb it forward on the left wing to Toucher, plays it into Quenya, out to Theo. Moss staying with Theo, not terribly well. He gets off the cross, but it's well defended, and the ball's played out to Rosati. We miss the header. They get the header, unfortunately for them. They can't get a header on frame. We are beating them even here in Milan in both shots, XG. I think I can tap this. Possession numbers are pretty even, but we're winning it very slightly. That'll probably change in the last minute as they get more desperate, but they're so far behind, maybe it won't even matter. Nice 1-2 with Dudarev and Moss, leading to Moss's shot going off of the goalkeeper's hands. Moss will then take the corner for us. Inbreaker from this side, headed through. Dudarev does get on it, unfortunately can't get it on frame. Simon will have a throw in. We headed up to Moss, but doesn't quite get there. Good set of attacking play. Unfortunately, it came to Requenia's head, and just a header from that distance is just never going to be as threatening as a kick. He should have probably let it drop and see if he could have one-timed it that way, because this was so unlikely to convert from a header. Well, now we need to not give up 5 goals in the last 2 minutes in stoppage time, which would be an all-time collapse of like super FM proportions. You know, FM proportions are giving up 2 goals. Nice save from Johansson. Great diving save. Yep, Torres should easily get to that. Ball played in the middle of the 2s, and then back out. And hey, there we go. 1-1 on the road. Pretty even performance in the end. Good guys get it, though. And given our huge lead, that's all we needed. So, we have 5 more games in the regular season. We have 2 more youth games because the finals is 2-legged. And we are playing Chelsea in the semifinal. And those games are not far away. We play at Chelsea for the first one, and then our second one is a home game against Chelsea. So we will try and get a slight win or a draw on the road, and then come back to our place and beat them there. Chelsea is currently in 4th place this year, still in the Champions League spots, but a bit behind. So good team. We obviously rather not be facing them as compared to Wolfsburg or potentially even the other teams available. Certainly we've beaten Real Madrid this year twice. Once in a draw. I think twice in our group. Yeah, twice. Their only draw was a last game to Salisbury where we didn't really care. So knew I could beat them. But hey, so I will be back with a new video for you here on the 8th of May in Game World. It is the 9th of May in real life right now. This video will probably be going for the 10th. So thank you so much for joining me. I know it wasn't the world's most exciting video given the lead we had coming in. I'm strangely completely fine with that. Hopefully the Chelsea video somehow goes the same way, that we completely skunk them at their place and then take them home and don't have to worry about it too much. Don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know that I've pronounced words horribly, including 41th. I do love to hear from you. Either way, I hope you have a lovely night, day, morning, wherever and whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you soon. Bye.